Hello everyone, today I'm going to talk about how you can checkmate your opponent playing Kashtira. By checkmate, I refer to like a zero risk play that you will win no matter what in this game, um, but not necessarily during that specific turn. So whatever happens afterwards, whatever he draws top decks, what card he has, you'll guarantee to win if you play it out in a certain way. So I was going second against Gentleman in my locals. He was playing a horse element, so I activate draw phase to respect Imseti that he might have, and then he activates the Paleno, searches the tier cache, and passes. So we can know that even if he try to go for lethal, he can attempt to activate the tier cache and then survive. Although he will be in a not the ideal spot, he has to rip a card from his hand to do that. But anyways, I draw for turn something that's not too relevant, like an impermanence. And then, because as I said, it's hard to OTK with just using one unicorn, right? So I decide to excavate with the pros first in this case, so that I can make the right play, the most optimal play. And then the prosp showed me 6 cards, including the race sauce and another shifter. And uh, just in case some of you don't know, you can shifter twice with using this card. So if you open two of them at the same time, or prosperity excavate shifter, and if shifter actually is really impactful against that matchup, you can do that. So it is pretty tempting to grab this, and it is almost always correct to grab this in other matchup, because if this unicorn gets stopped by Imperm Ash, then you have no more play after that. So that way this can grab the Rysar, and then you have option to go to Shang and stuff, and follow up. So but in this case, I'm playing against tier element, so they most likely have no cards like Impermash. So in this case, I grab the shifter, and while at the same time I do that, I kind of knew that I will guarantee win this game if I do that as well. So I'll tell you why in a second. And that's related to this mourner. I'm not gonna mourner them right now or anything in anything next turn, but because this just one unicorn and mourner guarantees 8k total, up to more than 8k total. So this turn, the best damage I can get is probably like 2000 because of the prosperity. So I don't really have to care about the damage, right? But what I did was unicorn, search the Theosis, and summon the Fenrir, and then here Fenrir gets the Rysar, which is a still normal summon of a monster, because I'm planning to end on Zeus. So because as I said, I can shift her. My main goal, I guess, was to shift her him twice. So I have to make this card. By the way, this is in his hand, not on the field, just to make sure. So I'll just like banish it for here, and then you do battle first to potentially go to Zeus and also do the damage, and then in phase 2 you detach the Fenrir to pop the card he has activated. And we can also say he probably activated this because he has another Paleno, so he can resolve it next turn. So this is destroyed, and the main point is you get to do this. You don't quite can shifter right now because you're still under shifter. You cannot attempt to activate this. But you can do it in their draw phase. So you go to Zeus, set the Imperm just in case, and then pass turn. So during their draw phase, you shift her again, so that if he has cards like Imseti, he cannot attempt to activate it. So what he basically did after that was he just activates a Paleno, and then searches another tier name, and then pass. So, so I got my turn. He has 6 cards in his hand, and then I draw the Veiler, which is very irrelevant, but it does still guarantee that if anything goes wrong, I can win. But as I said, you can just, it's guarantee you win with just this card, with the one unicorn in the corner in this situation. And it's because you switch it, normal summon the Rysar, banish the Theosis to there's another Theosis. So banish Theosis to add back the Fenro and also ripping his deck can matter against here, and then go battle, do 45. Here he doesn't decide to. So you attack with the Rizard first, but anyways he doesn't decide to tier cache, banish the name and then summon because that only just does um, what do you say? So let me get back. So in his perspective, it doesn't really make sense. When I attack with only 15, he uses the tier cache, right? Because it's just 15, so he rather block this attack. But the thing is, he doesn't know I have the Mourner. So if he decides to summon the tier cache to block the 3k damage, I can Mourner on summon of the tier cache, and then activate the Zeus to burn him 23 and then 3k for game. But regardless of that, for now he didn't do that. So he just took the 3k in his face because he thought it doesn't kill him in his perspective. And then I just do nothing and pass pretty much. But at this point you're guaranteed to win because he finally gets to play. He activates the Imseti and then summons the Imseti using the Sark. But then on summon of the Imseti, I just Mourner it on summon, and then he now realizes that's just game because he takes 3000 when he has 21 life point. So that's why if you have cards like Mourner, and then you know how your opponent will gonna respond, you can just plan this out from your first turn, like first 5 hand, right? Obviously the it's actually when you activate the prosperity, I guess, because that's when you get to know the second shifting twice is an option. But that's how the game ended. And I also played against a Runick horse the same day. And my opening hand was, so this is his card, so I put that in. And then, so I won the game 1, just normal, by just doing nothing, I guess. And then he had this activated on his. No. For now, they are all in his hand because he made me go first specifically, and I'm gonna explain as I set this up. But if decks like Runick Horse Stun makes you go first, you can expect cards like Evening Match, Lava Golem, Sphere Mode. So you have the option to play very safe, like just summon one monster and do nothing and pass to respect those cards. However, Kashtira is a deck that can just grab the birth and set up everything next turn. So you have to think about the case where they don't have those cards, even if they put it in and just didn't draw them, right? So it is really good that unlike some other decks that cannot really recover after the Sphere Mills, Kashtira is kind of different. So you can still just set up the board as long as you hold the birth in your hand. Mainly, that's the main thing. There's like almost no punish even if you get Sphere Mode. So in this game, I also had a shifter somehow, but it's just the thing about this is like the checkmating opponent situation comes up when you shifter them or hand trap them multiple times, so game is really simplified. So so I had the Lightning Storm going first, and then I had Fenrir and Theosis and a Imperm. So Fenrir, Imperm, Theosis, and then opponent had 2 Runick cards that I obviously don't know, and the horse card. And I think a bluff. So yeah, he had a bluff, which was this apparently. So he had these 5 cards opening. He drew something. After that, obviously, because he went second. But anyways, I'm gonna show you how you play to play around stuff. So you summon with the Fenrir, search the Riser, and then so if you have the shifter, right? So you here banish the birth immediately, so that when you resolve the Theosis, you can get the birth back right away. So no matter what, no matter what happens here, they could ash this or not. You still activate the shifter so that you get the unicorn out and then get the birth back. And then here, because it's a Runick matchup, it's kind of slow. So and also birth is really powerful after the shifter is over. So you just get as many birth as you can. Yeah. So here, I made a mistake. So instead of the Fenrir, I had the Shang specifically, and Shang searched the Fenrir. So I just started with the Theosis and the field. So I had that, and because I had the field, it makes a lot of sense to make the Shang. So I just make Shang. On their 4 summon, they can play Nibiru, who knows? Probably not, but set in perm might as well and pass. So the whole point is like you don't set these cards or activate it to play around cards like evenly. And then obviously because you're on the shifter until their turn, this birth wouldn't do anything. So yeah, he draws a card, activates the evenly matched. I was a little sad, but let's think about it for a second, right? So you have 2 options. I guess 3 options. So obviously this is going. Oh, I forgot something. So you do get the unicorn in their draw phase, standby phase, and then this is gone. This is gone because of the evening. You have these 3 options, but because you have the birth, this is honestly pretty good option, I guess. But because you lost the field, it's just not that great. And obviously, it's not doing anything if you keep that. They might, who knows, activate something. So you do get to banish this, and then I decided to banish this. And because you have these materials banished face up, you can birth the unicorn and just full combo again, almost guaranteed. Only thing is, they might set the Runick Destruction, the one that outs the spell, so that that's why I get to use this and maybe try to bait out it. So just in case they want to go to the Hugin, I just keep this in perm, because if they go to Hugin, they can activate Fountain, and during my turn, try to recycle their stuff when the shifter ends. But they decide not to, because obviously this could be an imperm, right? So if he does it, they lose like so many cards, and then cannot even get the Fountain. So what they do is just activate this, get the Imseti to their hand, and then return that whatever draw they had, because they started with 6 cards, right? So this is their hand. These 3 are obviously unknown, but we get to know it as we play. So I just say that this is not on the field. This is in their hand. It's just Dueling Book doesn't let me place over there. So these are all 3 sets they had, right? Which I can kind of expect them to have. Yeah, so I start the turn, and then I draw a Prosperity. So I begin the turn by activating Lightning Storm to maybe trade with their Runick cards, and also depending on that situation, this Prosperity can grab the most accurate card I need in the situation. So he indeed have the Runick card, so activates the Runick Slumber to summon out a Hugin, and then Hugin protects the Lightning Storm. Now he has 2 back row and this card, which could be a follow-up, so I still want to get rid of all that and still play the game. So now I activate Prosperity so that I can birth afterwards, and hopefully get rid of the Runick Destruction mainly. And then Prosperity excavates 2 cards, which was this and another planet. So and then obviously 4 other cards, that's not an option for me. So you do get these 2 options. But the thing is, I mean, it does make logical sense that I can just Harpy, bait out his last Runick card, and then play the game. However, a lot of situation actually, adding this almost makes more sense, because even if they specifically has the Runick destruction, which is a once per turn, I believe, they can't really use it twice on both of these, right? So if your planet gets negated by the destruction, then you can birth in full combo. If they negate the birth, then I can still do the same with the field. Not the exact same, but almost the same thing pretty much, because I can search the unicorn and play. So yeah, so but then I decide to grab the harpy for very specific play. As I told you, they have the Imseti in their hand as a public knowledge. So if I somehow can make end on Typhon, I can checkmate their card, right? Basically, that card is totally dead, and they have no follow up, because right now they're planning to play with horse cards and just stall with the Runick cards, right? That's their game plan for now, because they have to use all their Runick cards if I Lightning Storm and then Harpy and potentially go to Xyz as well later. So he decides to so I decided to grab the Harpy, activate the Harpy, and how I get the Typhon live against Runick matchup, which is unlikely, is because he has to summon the Hugin again, right? So he summons another Hugin to protect other two from the Harpy, might as well, and then that turns on the Typhon. So now because they can still have the last destruction, but I still have to play anyway. So I activate the birth and then reborn the Fenrir, and then search the unicorn, activate Theosis, summon the Scare Cash or Rysart, doesn't matter which one. Let's just say I did this, and then I have the Theosis engrave, so I can banish another birth that's not in here right now, because I'm just playing like custom cards for showcasing. So I'll just say I banish this birth for my deck, right? And then I have the Theosis engraved because Unicorn just activated that. So basically from here, I can go to the Dark Armed and get the third birth to my hand in rotation. So wait, yeah. So basically this birth should be on the board, right? And then I still have the second birth in my hand, and then this play would get me the second birth because one birth is banished by the Risa, right? And then Theosis, then I can add the third birth. So basically, whatever happens, I can birth infinitely throughout the game. But anyways, the whole point of doing that is to destroy the whatever back row he has. So it turns out a bluff, because he will get that again with the Imseti anyways, right? And then I just activate this to destroy this, because why not? I guess I could just Fenrir that. Maybe I did that, to be honest. So let's say I just Fenrir that away by battling. The damage doesn't matter again because we're not gonna OTK them, but the whole point is after this. No, I actually Typhon and then battle, right? Because why not? So I make Typhon, battle with the Fenrir Typhon. Typhon banishes, he's Tomb. And then because we know the last card he has Imseti, that card is dead, and whatever he really draws doesn't do anything as a one in the Runick. And even if he draws something crazy, we are just never losing because we have one birth on the field, and it's just impossible to outgrind from you. So that's it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time with more Kashtira content. Thank you for watching.